It is August 25th, 2024, and a little bit late on this one. I've been trying to do them on Fridays, but it's not really been panning out that way, so it's a Sunday. That's okay, though. It's been a little bit busy. We've had in a good way. I never like making some of these things sound like it's bad when I say busy. Like, busy's not bad. No, in laws are visiting from Canada, which is awesome. So it's really good to have them here. So my father in law has not been out to visit us. My mother in law has when they were moving my wife's dog back from Canada to Seattle. So she's visited us before, but both parents have not. At least, sorry, at our new house. When we were in an apartment, they both visited. So really great to have them here. My wife's been doing most of the entertaining and stuff, like because they're here for a full week. That like I don't have the time off work necessarily. So yeah, it's been good. It's been busy. But we're going out to a Mariners game today. So I've never done that. So it'll be cool. Um, but yeah, I had that, and then so work this past week was pretty busy. I got to do conversations for performance rewards and promos and things like that. So all of that was great conversations. I know in the last video I talked about being a little bit nervous about it, but not nervous in a way like, oh no, I'm going to be disappointing everyone and what are they going to say? Just nervous in this sense. Like, this is first time kind of doing that with my entire team. So I have found historically that people will talk about career progression and stuff in a particular way throughout the year. And then when there's literally like quantitative aspects to it, like things change. And I don't have a really good way to characterize this, but it's kind of like this is now it's now real, almost like there's numbers that make it real, and then the conversation or the perspective can change a little, whether it's good or bad or indifferent, whatever. Like it can change based on what other feedback there was throughout the year. So just kind of like me being nervous about anticipating what that's going to look like, but uh I didn't predict anything was going to go, off the rails or anything. So that's all good. But yeah, no, happy to do that. And it's just a little bit of pressure that comes off once it's done. So overall, awesome stuff. Um, yeah, been continuing to go into the office twice a week, which has been good. I'm gonna keep that up. The commute's a little crappy, but I generally shorten my office days a little bit. I do other work outside of 9 to 5, but if I shorten the office days, then I can skip traffic in the morning and then leave a little bit early as well, and just kind of try to dodge traffic where I can. But not always going to be the case. But I, make up time at other points in the evenings, so it's all good. But yeah, I don't think there's anything else really to touch on for work. BrandGhost, we have started onboarding from our wait list. It's slow, but also there are people that are starting to use it. So I think this is kind of a typical thing, and I say typical, at least from my experience. I don't know about all these other SaaS builders and stuff. We like to be cautious, so we don't want to go put in an extreme amount of effort to try get it. Like, say if we could have a day where we had 10,000 users on board. Like, I don't actually think that we'd want that. And the reason I say that is because, like, it would be overwhelming from trying to gather feedback. Would there be feedback? Yes. I'm sure there would be lots. Would there be data and telemetry? Yes. But I just feel like it would be overwhelming. So I think in the start for us, if we had like 10 concurrent users, right, where that were active and participating and stuff like that, would feel good, just to kind of like hold their hand a little bit, get some feedback, and then it's more valuable feedback in my opinion. I feel like that's just how me and the others have built software together, is like we want that kind of level of feedback. But I think where I'm getting to is we always anticipate that there's going to be like a flood, and there never is. And that's why I said maybe for other builders, like they have that where they flip the switch and all of a sudden there's like 10,000 people that are on board, and they like that or whatever. But we don't necessarily want that, and I think we always anticipate it's going to happen, and like, what do we do to prevent it to make sure it doesn't? But it never does. So no, it's been good. I think a couple of hiccups right away, which sucked, like just really obvious things. And it always comes back to like unit test, or I shouldn't say unit test, just functional test or unit test gaps. Like there was no test coverage on a couple of things, and they were changed and broken like right away. Super easy fixes, but it was like kind of felt embarrassing. So just addressing that. I think one place we really shine, and we didn't get this opportunity with Meal Coach, unfortunately, but like we react fast. So we had one user had a couple of hiccups like right away, and interested in what we're offering. So he's like, "Hey, this is cool. Here's some feedback." And in the first day outside of working hours, like so me in the morning before work and me after work, plus the other guys, we're in different time zones, but we addressed everything. There's a list of like under 10 things, over 5 things kind of range, and we addressed it all, fixed a couple bugs, improved some things. And I love embodying that when we're building software. Like we have a lot of pride in what we build, so when people give us feedback, like we're taking it. That's the whole point. So we didn't get that with Meal Coach. It was kind of like people would say like, "Hey, it sounds interesting," but then they wouldn't use it, or they'd try to like go through the process and then they're just kind of like give up and drop off, and we're like, okay, well, what do we do? Like, what do we do if people say it looks really good and then they don't want to use it, or it's not inspiring them to use it? Like, obviously there's a gap, but we can't collect the feedback. So in this case, it's nice. And I think like we've identified one of the biggest challenges for BrandGhost is going to be that onboarding experience. So our goal was to kind of do a white glove approach with some early waitlist members to say like, hey, we'll onboard content for you. But that's because it's going to be challenging to make the system that we want to have that kind of pulls from your social media, makes suggestions for you. So we are starting that, but we didn't want to like block everything on that. That's why it's a little bit slow in the beginning. But anyway, I'm excited for it. We added more platforms, so like YouTube is essentially done right now. That's been kind of over this weekend. We added Threads. I'm just checking my whiteboard, sorry. In the middle of adding like Mastodon, which is complicated because you can log into different servers. So like that's a bit of a nightmare. But yeah, we added, like, it was just really cool to iterate super fast on some of these things. So we are going to be looking for like Substack support. There's still Pinterest, TikTok, Tumblr, Reddit, couple things like that. But we kind of said that yes, we want like an aggregate social media feed, but we think that we want to double down on the scheduling and stuff, like going cross-platform, wider on platforms, so that you get that realized benefit right away. So just yeah, lots of stuff to do, but it's exciting because there's actually an opportunity for feedback now. So keep plugging away. I got a bunch of podcasts edited, which is great. I sent those over to the editor. Usually I do them myself, but I was just so far behind. So he did a great job on that. So I'll be posting those over. I'm going to be kind of doubling up, I think, just because I had a bunch. So I think I posted, I don't know if I posted the whole 3 last week or maybe just 2. I think it might have been 3. But anyway, those will be going up. I'm going to try to do my live streams coming up Monday and Tuesday morning, but I'll have to see about the Tuesday morning one, because now that I've started CrossFit and we go in the mornings, especially with my wife's parents here, I don't have to go the same days as my wife, but it might be good to like kind of plan and see. So before I was going to the gym in the evening, so it was easy to stream in the morning. Now that I'm doing the morning thing at the gym, it might be good to kind of move around. So but I'll try to get 2 streams in. Got some interviews coming up as well. I have an interesting one coming up. I have I believe his name is Ethan Evans. I either that or I'm messing it up and it's like Evan Ethans or something, but that seems a little odd. He's an ex-VP at Amazon, and so I've had this interview set up for a little bit, and that's coming up this Friday. The reason I'm bringing this up is because he had a viral post on LinkedIn that was going across all other platforms, and uh, basically, if you're not totally familiar with like how like the style of posting or like strategies for posting, the very beginning of any post, like any video, you want to have a hook because there's so much information online. People are just scrolling, but you need to hook people to grab their attention so they keep reading. And the hook to his post was something along the lines of like, I worked for a CEO that seduced my wife and he won. And so it makes you kind of be like, what the hell, man? And then he goes on to like explain like, and here's what I learned from it. I don't think I read the whole post in detail, but I started seeing it like on TikTok, on reels and stuff, and it's like, oh man. But I guess like the point is, I mean, it's content creation, so he's getting eyes on it. People are gonna have their own take about how to go post, but I just thought it was interesting. So I don't know if I'll bring that up in the interview, but we'll see. Yeah, I don't know if there's much more to say. Maybe I'll just touch on Dometrain courses. I'm trying to hopefully today, maybe not, because these videos are a little bit more involved. But my first of the two Dometrain courses I'm doing in parallel right now, I'm going to try to wrap that up today, at least to get things sent to the editor because he still has to edit them. So I'll try to do that. And then the second course is kind of due by the end of September. The first one I was talking about is due kind of a week into September, so I still got time. But I've always delivered them early, so once I have that out of the way, this second course is just like it's go time. Um, but yeah, it's interesting. It's more about now that I'm having someone edit the videos. It's the time consuming part is, as you might maybe expect or maybe you don't. It's putting the content. What's a good way to put this? It's not even the thoughts that go into the content. It's like the supporting material. It takes longer. Um, with coding, obviously, it's setting up examples and stuff. And for this other course, it's again setting up examples, but sort of putting them in a format that's presentable. So, um, yeah, it's tedious, I guess, is the word. And as long as, and I don't know, I guess on the video recording part, I feel a lot more natural doing stuff. So I'm not like when I'm messing up in videos, it's usually because I just say the wrong thing. So I'll be explaining something, blah, blah, blah. And then as I'm just kind of going at a normal pace, it's like any conversation, right? Like you mess up. It's okay to mess up. But when it's a video and it's recorded and it's educational, like what you don't want to do is like mess up your words and say, oh, wait, sorry, that's not what I meant, and re-explain it. You chop that part out, which is why YouTube videos, for the most part, are generally like they look. I'm not saying my YouTube videos are perfect by any means, but the code and stuff set up is supposed to look more perfect than normal, right? Same with courses, but that's not really normal. So I just wanted to call out that like these types of video courses, they should flow pretty easily, which is good. More feels more natural just to kind of start talking about something, but still mess up here and there. So anyway, that's kind of my next little bit of time to wrap those things up, and I'm excited to get them out the door. So I think that's it, folks. Thank you so much for all your support, and I'll see you next time.